I saw a news on X. I was just scrolling on X and I came across a news that Barcelona are interested in signing Alexander Sorloth and have already made initial contacts. Now, this Barcelona, this team just wants to, which one be Alexander Sorloth? This was my initial reaction. Again, when I saw this news, I was like, wait till we want use Sorloth to, but I checked it very well. I checked it very well. I just want to talk about this a bit. Might be the reason why probably Hansi Flick is the one pushing for this. I was skeptical about this Sorloth signature because we all know Sorloth is not that kind of a fast striker that can help us with that pressing up front. You know the kind of football we play. Our defense starts with the striker. Is the striker, the forwards at the first point of contact. If they're not pressing very well from up front, then it tells on the defenders. So why checking that Sorloth will not be the best fit for this kind of football and that will play that kind of pressing that we need? There might be a good part of this Sorloth that makes Hansi Flick want to go for this signature. Now, apart from that pressing part of it, Hansi Flick kind of football needs a striker that can run in between defenders, that can run behind the defensive line. Not just that, he wants a ball-holding striker, a striker that has that physical presence, so that the number 10s can operate very well. If he's a striker that his presence alone draws defenders to him, then the number 10s, the wingers like Lamine Yamal, like Rafinha, Dani Olmo, and Fermin Lopez, they'll be able to operate more because the physical presence of that striker is taking the attention of the defenders. He might not fit perfectly into that system because he does not have that mobility in pressing. He's not young like Ferran Torres or the young Lewandowski, or let's say Rashford. He does not have that pressing. He's not young anymore. He also is not that kind of technical striker. He comes up, he turns up and scores goals, but he's not that kind of a technical striker. Why Sorloth might actually work for Barcelona is Flick, over the time, as Flick, both in Bayern and in Barcelona, has proven that the kind of strikers that he likes is a striker that has that aerial threat. That once he's in the box, the defenders are always like, hey, this guy is here. He always brings that fear into the minds of opposition defenders. And that is exactly what Alexander Sorloth is. He's 1.93 in height. So he brings that threat whenever he's inside the box. We all know he's good with scoring goals with the head. Another thing is that punch factor. Yeah, we all know that apart from the pressing and all that, Sorloth is the kind of striker that knows how to break lines. He does it with Barcelona all the time. As a Barcelona fan, myself, I know many other Barcelona fans. Whenever we're playing with, when he was at Villarreal and even now at Atletico Madrid, whenever he comes on, that fear is there. He scored us in the first leg when they defeated us 2-0 at the Camp Nou. The second leg, he cost that red card to Eric Garcia. So somehow, he's not that fast, but he always finds a way to break that defensive line. This might be the perspective that Hansi Flick is looking onto. Now, apart from that, Sorloth is a kind of striker that is clinical. Yes, this might be funny, but if you check his statistical efficiency, you will see that he's a striker that always scores. Atletico Madrid does not start in most matches. He comes off the bench, but he's always consistent with scoring from the bench. If he does not score, he will assist. Very, very close to scoring every time he comes off the bench. So that is things I've been looking. If we're looking for that striker that will always be pressing, yes, Sorloth is not that striker. But if Rafinha and Lamine Yamal improves and do more of that pressing, Sorloth might be that striker that fits into our system, considering the threat he brings. Lamine Yamal whips a whole lot of crosses into the box. Rafinha does a whole lot of crosses. Imagine all the assists Lamine Yamal always gives to Lewandowski and Ferran Torres that they lose. If Sorloth is always in that box, because most times when they create chances, there is no striker. You know when you have a striker that's always in that box, there is nobody in the box. So if Sorloth is that striker that is always in that box when Lewandowski leaves, then he will convert a whole lot of chances from Lamine Yamal and Rafinha. What do you think about Sorloth coming to Barcelona? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section.